everyone, welcome back and happy Tuesday. All right, guys. Well, this is actually kind of interesting because it looks like we got a lot of shade getting thrown right now, a lot of daggers, if you will. You got Lisa Vanderpump, she's throwing some little nasties. And then you got Katie, who it's not like a it's not like a funny nasty. It's just like a I cannot stand your asses nasty. But listen, I'm here for all of it, okay? Because it's Tuesday, and what else do I have to do? So with that, guys, we're about to jump right in. Before we do, if you haven't already, go ahead, pop off in the comment section. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, and let's jump right in. All right, guys, so we have to start with my favorite former boss, Lisa Vanderpump, of course, because, well, she's out here just mentioning it all. Not only was she talking about Jax Taylor's spinoff, she mentioned a little bit about Adrienne Maloof. She also talked a little bit about her departure from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Yeah, we have a lot. So she talked about this dramatic moment when two producers attempted to persuade her to stay on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which I think we've even talked about this a little bit. Now that it's been elaborated on, I thought, okay, that was funny, but it kind of shows, I feel like they usually will not chase you down. Like if you just act like, oh, well, I'm done. I feel like a lot of times they don't want to deal with that. So they're just like, okay, well, then be done. But I don't know. I could be wrong. Now, she said, I remember when I wanted to leave Housewives and I kept saying, I don't want to do this anymore. And I came out and there was a producer of Housewives that gave me some flowers, and I had a convertible car, and there were two producers, and one of them jumped in my car, and I said, I'm leaving. I'm not doing Housewives anymore. It's done. And I got home and I said, okay, you get out of my car. And the other one climbed over my gate. He climbed over my gate and ran down my driveway and said, you need to come back. Most of the time, from what I saw working at TomTom and Sir, what I saw from Lisa filming Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but also from what I saw, like with the producers and Vanderpump Rules, they don't just chase you down. Like sometimes they'll manage your emotions because a lot of the cast members act like just petulant children. I remember one time, and I love Stassi. She wasn't acting like a child, but they wanted her to go in and have this inauthentic moment, and they wanted her to say something to one of the cast members or bring something up. And she was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I don't have to. I'm not doing it. And they were like, calm down. She was like, no, I'm not doing that. And I was like, what in the hell is going on? But I was still like very intrigued. But I'm just saying, usually they don't deal with that. Now, on top of that, this I died for because she critiqued Jax Taylor's original spinoff. She pretty much just said that Jax and Brittany, where they I guess it was Jax and Brittany Take Kentucky. She said it was boring. I was a producer on that, but there wasn't enough content. It was painful and it was too long and it was shit and it was boring. I'm like, how do you actually feel? Now with Adrienne Maloof, I think we know the Maloof hoof. I think we could go back a long time ago and really pick apart that relationship. But again, this is just like a nice nasty. She pointed out that the fact that every time Adrienne would come over to her house, that she was always wearing brown body makeup. And so she would leave her imprint everywhere. And she called Adrienne the human stain. And so clearly that's not designed to be like this, oh, it's so funny, it's so cheeky. Oh, Adrienne. It's not really designed to be a nice nasty. It's just kind of like, oh, shit. Okay, we're exposing her. But like I said, I'm all here for it. By the way, this is her giving her take on all of this.
That you are the queen of reality TV. You've been doing this for so long, and I'm sure that you have seen so many different things and have a lot of secrets of reality TV. So I would love if you could tell us maybe a couple reality TV secrets that you've never told anybody else.
Well, I have to say, over the years, pretty much Bravo, like if it's interesting, they put it out there, whether you want it out there or not. But personally, I've had some things that, I mean, I remember when I wanted to leave Housewives once, and I was filming Vanderpump Rules, I kept saying, I don't want to do this anymore. And I came out, and there was a producer of Housewives that gave me some flowers, and I had a convertible car, and there were two of them, and one of them jumped in my car. I said, I'm leaving. I'm not doing Housewives anymore. It's done. You know how many times I said that? So it's done. I drove off. They jumped.
So like I said, you are the queen of reality.
I got home. I said, okay, you get out the car. And the other one, he climbed over my gate, ran down my driveway and said, you have to come back. And I think at the end, I was like, okay. I thought this should have been on the show. To see producers climbing over my 2 security gates and chasing me up the road, I never see anything like that for sure. But yeah, the deal was done. I went back. I remember like every time Adrian would come over, she always wore this kind of brown body makeup. Wherever she sat, she would leave her imprint, you know, that I would think the human stain is here, you know. I'd be like, oh, it's in the car, literally.
Okay. Not the human stain. Oh, God. All right. Well, it continues because, well, there was this little tidbit.
They were divorcing. Like, she made me feel like I wasn't justified or valid in my reasons or anything like that. And then also, you know, kind of made it about her because she's like, I wrote those vows. And I'm like, okay. You know, it's like the constantly wanting to be acknowledged for the generous things that she's done in life, but like often and unwavering. It's difficult because it's like that. No one's ungrateful, but like, Jesus.
Has Lisa ever thanked you?
Since Ariana and I opened up something about her, I haven't heard a peep.
That's
from her.
crazy.
No, like, congrats. No, nothing. And I wasn't expecting it and I didn't need it, but like, yeah.
Wow.
So when she wanted to be upset, I also saw that she was upset that certain people didn't reach out when the news of the show came out. I was like, I didn't hear from you either. I know that you were asking Alex Baskin what all of us were thinking and saying on our phone calls with him, but like, she didn't want to pick up the phone. I think there is that sort of favoritism that is given more freely and openly to the men. I mean, there was times where I was very close with her and she was, you know, she would look out, she would call, she would check in, and same with Ariana. But it's like, I think the major divide that happened with everybody was like, you know, the post-Scandal stuff, and she really just wanted to look out for him and just kind of disregarded how that would make other people feel.
Right.
Or what that would, like, the message it would send to everybody else too. When Tom and I were divorcing, like, she made me feel.
You know, that's so wild and interesting because I remember, again, working for her, and I used to think like, oh my God, it would be so cool to be one of the people who were actually on the show, because you could tell that Lisa, like, loved and favored the people on the show, it felt like. But I think it was also because, you know, the restaurants, like any restaurant, it's such a revolving door. So she didn't really attach herself too much to the people that would come and go, like servers or hosts and stuff like that, because that's just it. They would come and go. And I remember talking to a couple of the cast members being like, you know, what is it like being so close to Lisa and blah, blah, blah. And they would be like, it's all bullshit. But then I want to defend her in this because my husband was incredibly, like, close to her every time she'd come, and he was still her employee. Yes, they were not like best friends, but you know, she just always treated him like amazingly, and he always praised her. And Jason is like a tough crowd. Jason is very straight up about everything. Like, he doesn't care. He's not going to sit here and kiss your ass. And, you know, so seeing it from his perspective, where she just really was there for him a lot, and so was Ken, it's interesting to see. It's interesting to see the different perspectives, especially because Jason wasn't on a TV show for her. So I don't know. I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are. Pop off in the comment section. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, and we'll see you next time.